Hey everyone, welcome to either the last episode of the Kosher Intuitive of 2025 or the second to last. I decided to hop on and do a follow-up to some topics that I did back in September. And I feel like I'm going to try to get through this show without getting upset. But as you guys know, it is your favorite clairvoyant, intuitive energy healer, and life coach, along with investment realtor, Yael Meisels, and comedian Yael Meisels. How the hell are you? So today on the Kosher Intuitive, we are going to talk about how the things we do, affect us as Jews, as people. And we're going to talk a little bit about cause and effect, okay? What prompted this was back in early September. I believe if you go through my YouTube catalog, it would either have been the show posted September 7th or September 8th. I'm not sure. I think I did shows. I know that those are the days that I did recording and uploading. And in those topics, I raised hell, literally, with the Rabbinical Council of Detroit, known as the VOD of Detroit, and a few rabbis in the Detroit area that are notoriously guilty of being on several occasions the wrong side of justice, the wrong side of the law. What I've witnessed over the last several years, in terms of allowing criminal behavior to be acceptable, be held unaccounted for. The rabbis in the Detroit community that outright condone criminal behavior. It really came to a head in September because I just, as a clairvoyant, intuitive healer and life coach, listen, we're in Detroit, Michigan, all right? Detroit, Michigan is where the Jewish community is. It's about 20 minutes away from Dearborn. Anyone know about Dearborn, Michigan? Okay, let me give you guys a little schooling. Dearborn, Michigan right now, Lord forgive what I'm about to say, but unless you're Muslim, I don't know how safe you are in Dearborn, Michigan, and certainly not to live there. All right. On two separate occasions. One was a couple years ago before my kids started school. I had a terrible feeling something was going to occur. I started praying for these things not to happen. And sure enough, 3 days before school started, we, the parents of the children at this yeshiva, received an email from the faculty that the Jewish Federation and the FBI had intercepted a planned terrorist shooting on the first day of school. My children obviously go to a Jewish school, right? Bring us to this past September of this year. Listen. As a clairvoyant, intuitive energy healer, I have predicted many global events and been spot on. Now, even though my business, the Kosher Intuitive, is not in any capacity a fortune-telling business, I even tell people who want to treat my business as if it's like a 1-800 psychic situation. Listen, if that's what you're looking for, you've essentially come to the wrong place. That's just not what we do here. We're not into predictions of the future. We're in my business, we're more into road mapping our highest elevation and our highest self, where I'm using clairvoyant ability to basically build, together with you to build a map between hither and yon to your success and clear out any blockages that are causing, maybe even preventing you to get to your highest level of success. Now, last August and September, I was feeling a lot of hate for the Jewish people coming out of Dearborn. All right. In fact, what prompted me to have such a activated response on my podcast to the criminal protecting in the Jewish community that goes on here in Detroit, it just does. I even said on the podcast that was posted either September 7th or September 8th. And if you look in my catalog, the show of the Kosher Intuitive, you will see that I did mention this almost 2 months before the event took place. Now, what I saw coming for the Detroit Jewish community was a pretty vicious, bloodthirsty terrorist attack. That's what I saw heading for Detroit as a result of permitting criminal activity, criminal behavior. And you guys have to understand something. And this is just not about anybody's integrity. And I hate to say this, but for crying out loud, your rabbis, okay, can handle my criticism. Your rabbis can handle anybody's criticism, because that's the job. When you fail a community, you owe a community an explanation. And ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter what shul I attend or attended or will attend again, but for people who pray next to rabbis who screw women in divorces, okay, like Rabbi Babayev of the Chabad Shul on Greenfield, right? Do you know a divorce story that he didn't screw someone? I don't. Let's talk about the fact that we've had the rabbi of DBN Shul throw out 2 that I can count on that come to mind today. 2 Jewish mothers to protect the integrity of criminals. Okay? Now, let's just be fair for a second. It's bigger people than me who've said to you what I'm going to say to you now. Your repulsive, sinful, repugnant, criminal-loving behavior, okay, Detroit Jews, almost cultivated so much negativity and hatred towards Jews that our community Halloween weekend, along with Ferndale, Michigan, was going to be shot up in a fucking bloodbath by the Dearborn Muslims who wanted to plan an ISIS attack on the Jewish community of Detroit and the gay community, which is known as Ferndale. We're calling a spade a spade. Everybody knows the gays live in Ferndale. What I find repulsive is that you will find so many people freeing Palestine, God forbid, from what, right? From what? Freeing Gazans from nothing in Ferndale. But the Hamasketeers and the people in Dearborn who support the actions of Hamas were planning an ISIS-level attack on a community, for real, Ferndale, Michigan, who has stood in the streets to free these people from a Jewish state they never belonged in the first place. A land they have no entitlement to. And still, ladies and gentlemen, whether you're Jewish or not, gay or straight, this applies to you. Unless you're in a hijab praying on the floor to demons, this applies to you. Okay? Okay? The sensitivity that the gay community of Ferndale has had for the Gazans did not prevent the Dearborn Muslims from planning to blow the heads off of and decapitate parents on Halloween weekend. Halloween weekend was a Shabbat, obviously. Halloween was a Friday night. Or I'm sorry, I believe it was either Friday night or a Saturday, where children would be involved in activity all day. Now, as a Jewish mother, even though I, by choice and circumstance, live outside of the Jewish community. At first, it started off as a circumstance, and then I saw how comfortable the Detroit Jews are in Gullis, and I said, to hell with that. Why would I sell a great house to go buy a lesser house to live with Jews that don't care if we get shot to pieces, God forbid? Jewish women of Oak Park and Southfield in Huntington Woods, do you know what these god-awful Muslims in Dearborn wanted to do to your husbands? Do you know what they wanted to do to your sons? They wanted to do ISIS decapitations to Jewish husbands and fathers in front of their wives and children before they cut off the heads of the kids. I saw this in August coming for us. I opened my mouth about it in September. Fast forward to a couple of days, literally. What a blessing, right? What a miracle. What a miracle. This terrorist attack didn't occur. And here's what I'm actually gonna go here. I don't think, okay, if I had done nothing about the goddamn disgusting sins in our community that are so black and white, you're supporting rabbis who throw out mothers of the community, okay, to protect the integrity of two criminals. Now, that's the bullshit that goes on at David Menachem Shul in Oak Park, Michigan. Their rabbi is notorious for making bad decisions. I've had numerous conversations over the point of 4 years before I said, listen, I can't, our rabbis are supposed to want us to make teshuvah for 4 years. And the rabbi at DBN knows this, haven't I? Let's just call a spade and keep it 100 with each other, okay? You know that I've been begging you for 4 years to stop screwing your community. Come on. We can't afford this anymore because the evil, you Jews, not me, not my family, because I took a stand against it, and the Rabbanu Shalom, thank God, passed over shooting our fucking children to death. God forbid. And after I took a stand, the amount of people from my synagogue that I've attended longer than the presiding rabbi, okay, actually had the gall to spread a filthy, vicious lie that I was asked not to come back. That's a filthy, vicious lie coming out the mouths of people that are comfortable praying next to criminals. What you're not comfortable with is praying next to the woman who saw the shootings coming for your husbands and children and yourselves and said, not my community. If I have to put everything I am, have, and do on the line to save these motherfuckers from being attacked in an ISIS-level attack that was coming for you, you didn't get it because of me. Somebody stood up and said, no, I am not cool with criminals in rabbinical garb anymore making community decisions. On 2 occasions, by the grace of the Almighty, and someone seeing the forest through the trees, that would be me in this equation, okay, saved you from serious Islamic attack shootings. Jews, listen to me. Listen. If you don't want to be shot to death by Muslims, throw the evil, wicked, stupid, Amalek, Arab fucking, Rav, pedophile, creep, criminal Jews out of your fucking community. And if you're not willing to do that, and Hashem does decree that you should be shot to death by Muslims, you deserve it. That's right, I said it, you deserve it. If you're not willing to throw the evil out, then who in hell are you to pray for the evil not to come in? When you're not even decent enough to pray to throw it out or throw it out. The level of irreverent, indicative snobbery that I have seen in Jewish neighborhoods, especially in uncrowned whites, what I like to call Crown Heights, uncrowned whites. You people should be goddamned embarrassed. Nobody has been more guilty of sex crimes against children than the Jews of than the Chabads and the Satmars. And you two rival each other, and you can't keep children safe. But you all want your Rebbe Babeba to be the Messiah. Oh, shut up. You people are weak. And I'm not going to let my children get shot to death in a synagogue because of some wimp-ass, criminal-loving bad Jews. I'll just throw the bad Jews under the fucking bus. If it means protecting our community from being fucking shot to death by the Dearborn Muslims who wanted to decapitate your husbands and sons in front of you. Wake the hell up. And I don't want to hear about one little sissy titmouse bit in this community, boo the hoo-hoo, because Yael talks badly about the criminal rabbis, thus prevents the fucking shootings in the neighborhood. That's how that goes, you big pansy bitches. One affects the other. You know what's righteous? Not your diddle-diddle-dum. It's the people that say, no, I'm not going to pray with criminals. No, you can't molest my kids. No, you're not going to withhold getting from women. That's piety. So you can take your diddle-diddle-dums and shove it right up your ass, can't you? Because that is not what saved you from a massive terrorist attack shooting Halloween weekend. Your wigs didn't save you. Your yarmulkes didn't save you. Your beards and hosiery didn't save you. I did. And I'll wear what I want. And I'll say what I want. And I'll walk into any fucking synagogue that I want. And any synagogue that has a problem with it, I'll broadcast your shit to every Jew with ears on this planet. I don't want to hear any more horse shit about me being asked not to come to shul. Bite my ass. You people almost prayed yourself into a terrorist attack. Shame on you. I saw this attack coming for months, and I knew how to stop it, and I did. I'm done being nice. You people want to pray with criminals? You're going to get yourselves killed. The Messiah is here. Stop acting a fool. And don't be stupid when I say things like the Messiah's here. Is she referring to Jesus? Is she referring? Shut up! I forgot more about Christianity than most of you bitches will ever know about Judaism. We have permitted silliness and stupidity for far too long. And it's getting people killed. It's getting people killed. I will hurt your feelings all day if it means saving our children from being shot to death by scary-ass, wicked, evil Islams out in Dearborn. There's more sleeper cells in Dearborn than there is the Middle East. I'm telling you, Dearborn is dangerous. And if you don't want danger in your community, it's time to stand all the way the hell up and be pious and live piety, which is throwing Amalek out of your community. That's piety. That's going to keep you from getting killed. You can Shemona Esrei all day. If you're not willing to throw evil out of your community, then you are just willing to be blasted in the face with a shotgun then, aren't you? Because that is clearly the consequences to those actions, as we have globally seen. Get real, Jews. Where the hell is your Messiah? Your CIA knows. Your Mossad knows. Your rabbis don't know because they're too diddle deedle dum. You know that fucktard Daniel Katz. What have you done other than steal hundreds of thousands into the millions, selling treif, Torah, and spirituality? Meanwhile, you're dying in front of our eyes. You people, you gotta stop with the drushes and the apikorsim, okay? Not everyone's gonna talk the way your little bottom likes to be patted. This is do or die, dummies. This is how about we don't get shot. Miriam's asking how close to the Jewish community is Dearborn. Oh, Miriam, my friend, 15, 18 minutes away. Steve, you tell me, friend. Dearborn, Michigan, is it safe? If you're not praying on the floor, is it safe? I don't think so. Because Halloween weekend, Steve, they wanted to blow the heads off the Jewish families and blow the heads off the gay community. Steve likes his padded bottom, too. That's why we stay the fuck out of Dearborn. The Dearborn Muslims we're going to blow the heads off the people of Ferndale, Oak Park, and Southfield. Halloween weekend. My hometown, Ferndale, they were going to blow the heads off of them. And where my children currently pray. Yeah. But we don't want evil in our community, but we're not willing to throw it out. Why? I will throw out the rotten Jews, or at least expose them. If that's what has to be done to save all of us from being shot to death, I'm willing to do it. That's more important than the integrity of your rabbis, than the scared little bitches in wigs. You are diddle-deedle-dumbing yourself into a fucking Holocaust. Stop being stupid. Quit Baruch Hasheming yourself into a fucking grave. When you won't throw evil out of your community, you are asking for danger. And I no longer can have sympathy. You think you're going to silence me? Oh, let me tell you something. Oh, Jews of Detroit. I've eaten people bigger for breakfast than even lives in your community. Okay? I'm not scared of any one of you. I'll eat you for breakfast. And then I'll share you with the other members of the Jewish Illuminati. We'll make a breakfast buffet out of your stupid lineage. I am untouchable. You idiots. How many times have I been investigated in the last 3 months? Twice by the police, once by the feds, because of scared, stupid Jews who were almost shot to death by a bunch of scary Muslims because they won't throw evil out of their communities. And they boo-hoo-hoo when you cry about when you talk bad about their bad rabbis who just like to rape children. I'm coming after every single bad Jew in a wig, hat, yarmulke. I don't care if you wear a bag over your head, if you bear a kosher bris, if you are a member of the tribe and you're bad, I'm coming for your jugular vein. And I know how to find it from my house because I'm a freak of nature with rare phenomena. So listen, I hope you enjoyed this episode because I'm going to continue to be the Jesus Christ thorn in your side of this community until you Jews fucking act right and start throwing evil out of your community. You're not going to throw me out of your community. I'll eat you for breakfast. And if you try to throw me out of your community, guess what? You'll probably get shot to death by a bunch of Muslims as a karmic result. So, looks like you need me, bitch, more than I need you. So that was our show. I hope the Jews of Detroit have had their lesson. We're going to close out the yeshiva for this afternoon. And for those of you who understand the seriousness of what we do here at the Kosher Intuitive, how we are changing and saving lives with myself and team every day, whether it's recovering from divorce, recovering from childhood trauma, dealing with the loss of a loved one, an emergency situation where somebody is missing. 3 people, thank God, the Kosher Intuitive brought home safely. 2 people we could not. One person we were able to verify how they were murdered. The other person we were able to debunk a theory of suicide for murder. I've worked with terrorist victims of mall shootings, victims of kidnapping, victims of false imprisonment by abductors. There's just no crisis. At this juncture, the Kosher Intuitive, myself and my team, hasn't put our hands on. There's no crisis at this point we haven't touched. We've worked with everything from victims of satanic ritualistic abuse to every type of sexual violence and crime you can possibly lay your hands on. I'm telling you, I've worked with victims of crimes that I'm like, I'm sorry, what, people do that? Like, people do that? I was actually just made aware, ladies and gentlemen, of a crime very relevant to me and my family. We are all people over here with sky-high, above genius level IQs, with rare phenomena. I'm pyrokinesis. Look at this shit. Look. I can touch fire. No problem. I get soot on my hand. Doesn't hurt. That's what a person with pyrokinesis can do. A person with pyrokinesis doesn't burn the way a regular, typical person does. And I just found out recently and let everyone in my group know that this is a real concern to the members of the Jewish Illuminati because we are high-level geniuses for real. And I'm not saying that to be pompous. This is a real concern for our family and for our group. People are being kidnapped, God forbid, by crazy elites that are physics geniuses, medical geniuses, people with 180 IQs and things of that nature, people known for rare phenomena, and they're being sold as collectibles at auction. I'm serious, for millions of dollars. Yeah, that's a real crime. Couldn't even believe it. I'm like, wow. When I thought I saw it all, There was a new crime. People want to collect people like me, and it ain't because we're purty. It's because we're wicked smart. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, we're living in a time where it's either the end of the world, chas v'shalom, or the coming of the true Messiah of Israel. And you know what? I'm holding on to the belief, the vision, and the fundamental promise of the Messiah of Israel coming to redeem us all. And I believe we are in that. I believe we are in that time. I believe we have already shifted into a 5D reality. It's just the veil and smoke lifting from new said reality. We cannot be cool anymore with asking God not to put evil in our synagogues, evil in our yeshivas, evil in our schools, evil in our churches, but we're not willing to throw that evil out. It's time to throw the evil out. It's time to show God, the creator of heaven and earth and all things that be, that we would rather unite in the Messiah than unite in our pain when our communities get butchered by the fucking Amak Shemo followers of Islam. Any way you slice it, whether they are a Muslim preaching the bullshit of ISIS or not. Their Quran they pray to, their false prophet and rock they bow to isn't different. Okay? Just because you found a follower of Islam that is not violent, it does not change the fundamental understanding of what the Islamic faith is. And I'm sorry, but when Jews and Christians are being murdered in droves, especially Africa, oh, Rabbana Shalom, whatever you got to do to save these people, we must take a stand. You know why the African Christian communities are going to win? You know why they're winning? You know why we're going to have a war over their survival? Because look what they're doing to survive and to save themselves. At this point, they're throwing evil out of their communities. It's cause and effect. If there's someone in your synagogue or in your church committing acts of evil, the fundamentals of the faiths of Christianity and Judaism is to hate evil. It is commanded in the book of Ezekiel that we are to hate evil. Hate it. Not be uncomfortable with it. Not say, God, please heal. No, God can heal the people worth healing. What we need to see is a complete destruction of the Amalek, which comes back to kill good people, God forbid, time and time and time again. And this time, I fully believe we are in process of seeing the slaying of that Amalek. Steve is saying he supports Israel. Thank you so much. And yes, my colleague Steve is even saying, nope, I steer clear of Dearborn. We all do. We all do. We all do. Going to Fairlane Mall and looking at someone the wrong way can get you slashed, can get you killed. And we're not talking about it? How come? But it was national news. I was talking about my fears of the Jewish communities of Oak Park and Southfield being shot to death by the Muslim Dearborns rising against them in early September. I was talking about the real threat of that happening, and that the reason I was standing up to the viciousness, the evil and the criminal behavior in the Jewish community was because I wanted God to see that someone in this fucking community hates the wicked enough to at least make an honest effort to throw it out. That's what saved you. And I'm sorry that's coming out of my mouth. I'm sorry that my hair is too red. I'm sorry that I used the F word. I'm sorry that I was a comedian for 12 years. And I'm sorry that you don't like me, but that doesn't change the reality that you need me. Rabbis of this community, you were almost beheaded in front of your wives and children for not listening to me. Please listen to me. Because they're not coming into my neighborhood. No plague will come upon me. No plague shall come near my tent. I don't live in your community because I know your community is crawling with Erev Rav, Amalek-loving bad Jews. I'm not living among that. I'm not selling my house with beautiful, wonderful, non-Jewish neighbors to go live with Jewish people that like being in Gullus. No, thank you. I'm not interested in kicking it with the Jews that are happy about being in exile. That's what compiles, unfortunately, the majority of the Oak Park and Southfield community. And I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm a bigger deal than you people pay attention to. The Kosher Intuitive is based in Detroit. It is a global clairvoyant intuitive healing known business, especially in the Jewish world. I am one of the strongest clairvoyant healers that walk the planet. I do not have a number as of yet to my IQ because there is a specific doctor that I want to do my testing with, but it's through the roof. You guys got to stop. You need me. I don't need you. Okay? I don't want to see our children shot to death. Let's be honest. Anyone who watches this show who knows me in real life, you know we haven't been to shul recently. Because I know you people are too much pansy-wansies to throw evil out, and I don't want my children getting shot to death, God forbid, if they come to get you. So that's why I'm doing this again. I don't want us shot to death. Not now, not ever. That's not a lesson. I want the Jews that I know, whether I think you're an idiot or not, is really irrelevant. I don't want you to die for it. I don't want you to die because you were so busy covering your hair and worried about pantyhose. But you did not have the seichel, the sense, to hate evil and try to throw it out of your community. It's getting us killed, not us. It's getting you all killed. Okay? Let's shape up. Let's shape up and work together. Because the reality is, rabbinical community, you need me more than I need you. I have hashkama for this business. It doesn't matter to me because it was given to me by a rabbi that does not have rare phenomena, does not understand rare phenomena, has not taken the time to learn rare phenomena. The rabbi that gave hashkama for this business did not even realize the depth of healing we're doing. I have two people, truly, that came to me gay. They're not gay anymore. I have a client who came to me as a transgender woman. He is transitioning back to his birth sex and feels synchronized in with his body. This isn't about hating people. This is about healing the afflictions that afflict humanity. All right? We got a lot to do. We got a lot to learn. But the good news is, some of us are so busy learning and teaching simultaneously that all we're here to do is work together and make the world a better place. And that is the bottom line. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I did not convert to Judaism 20 plus years ago to come in here and sit in exile with any last one of you. I came in here to fight the daily good fight until the third and final Beis Hamikdash stands on the Temple Mount and our Messiah is revealed and we hear the shofar and trumpets blowing all over the world, letting the world, the Jews and the nations know that the Messiah is here. That is our second to last show for 2025. On the next topic, we are going to talk about debunking conspiracy theories. So we are going to have a little bit of fun. on our last show in 2025. And if I, for whatever reason, can't produce this show before New Year's, it'll be the first one in 2026. Getting back into closing this show out. Listen, the Kosher Intuitive gives hundreds, well into the thousands in free sessions and discounts a year to people in crisis. Should you wish to donate to this cause, I cannot tell you how vital those donations are to putting me and my team in a position where if someone comes to us needing hundreds or thousands of dollars worth of work, because of those donations, we are able to say yes to that client. Please bear in mind, all consultations are free. Sessions start at $350 for a base clearing, which is anywhere between 2.5 hours and 4 hours. And private hourly rates are $175 an hour. Bear in mind, we also work on sliding scale. No one is turned away because of finances. And one thing I just want to close out with, my biggest the two people I would look at that don't even do what I do, but are pretty big, have pretty big names in this. One is so expensive, I don't even know his rates anymore. The other one is $500 for a 30-minute session. You got to take into consideration, these people don't even do what I do. So my prices are very fair, and we will never turn someone away for their finances. And thank you, Miriam. Anyone who has conspiracy theories that they are interested in me debunking, I'm going to try to knock out that episode today. If I can't, I'll knock it out tomorrow. But send me a private message. What about this? What about this? What about this?